what they're doing here in Montreal, this is something special.
It really is.
And I want to go back to this. And this is not a slight to this Montreal Canadiens team. This is just the way they're viewed. And some people may not view them this way. They certainly don't view it this way. But last year, with the circumstances, the extended, I guess you can say, a roster of teams to play in the bubble.
Oh, they were
They were 24.
Yeah, they were 24th by a distance.
They were 24th. They had no business going in there. What did they do? Do you remember what they did?
Oh, the Penguins.
They beat the Penguins.
Yeah.
And they looked really good.
Yes, they did.
And that's allowed Marc Bergevin to go in the offseason and say, all right, well, I'm going to add to this group because we've shown that we deserve that, and this group deserves to get another crack and to kind of solidify this group. And this year, you can argue also, everybody talked all year about the North Division being so weak. And the Montreal Canadiens, were they in the North Division?
Yes,
they were the last seed. They're the fourth seed. So you could argue they're the last team to get in again now. So I guess my point in all this is, man, is this team doing something special? And I remind people of that because it doesn't matter what you do. We always talk about just getting in. A perfect example. Back in 2012, I was with the Rangers. We're playing against the Devils in the Eastern Conference Finals. If you would have taken 7 months of hockey, it wasn't close. I've talked to guys on the Devils team after the fact. It wasn't close. Our Ranger team was a landslide of a better team than that Devils team. Doesn't matter. In those 10 games, they were the better team. 10 days. They beat us. And they beat us in whatever it was. I don't even remember now. I try to block that out of my mind in the Eastern Conference Finals. But the point being, it doesn't matter what people think about Montreal. This is perfect for them because if they put together a stretch of 10, 12, 13 days of hockey, they can shock the world again. And they can be back at that Stanley Cup Finals. I mean, do I think it's going to happen? Most people don't. I don't know if I believe that. But what I saw in this game, and guys like Toffoli and these specialty players, you got special times where Carey Price stood up and made an impact.
Suzuki was special.
Nick Suzuki. I mean, man, this is something. And they've shown in this series that when they are playing their game and they're going, you got to look out. Because they'll make a good team like Vegas be on their heels.
Very well said. And that same year over in the Western Conference, the team that won the Clarence S. Campbell Bowl was the 8th seed, the Los Angeles Kings, and they went on to win the Stanley Cup, beating Jersey. And they had a 3-0 lead, ended up winning in 6.
This is a goal-starved team, an offensive-starved team for years. And that's what we saw in this game, too. They have this push, right? And they've shown in this short series so far that when they push and they go, they're tough to manage. But they're also even more difficult to manage when they're playing with a lead. That's why it's so important. And I just love this read right here. The way he just drops off right there, right? You got Cole Caulfield, who is known to be a shooter. He's coming in here. He's hitching the thing back, ready to shoot. What's that do? It creates a tension. Everyone goes to Caulfield. Toffoli knows right there, I'm just going to slide over this way and be ready to shoot the puck. So he gives them another weapon. So you add him to the mix this year. You add Cole Caulfield into the late into the season in the playoffs here. Now all of a sudden you're looking, they've got some real weapons here that to add that to the group they have. It's been a real difference. And this team is very different when they're playing with the lead. And they said that. We saw that. They've done that a lot in these playoffs. That's why they've been successful. And we saw it here in Game 2.
To follow up on Rupper's point in terms of them playing with a lead, remember they came into this series winners of 7 straight games. In those 7 games, they never trailed. So it's clear that they are at their most confident and comfortable when playing with a lead. It also helps when the guy who's backstopping you is Carey Price. His ability to protect that lead, and as we both admired throughout the game, to do it with such poise and calm. And our good friend Kevin Weeks talks about how elegant he looks in the net.
No, he is. He's so elegant in the way he's very efficient, too, right? So when he goes across, he never looks like he's exerting that much energy.
True.
And that's not... I think there's a lot of positions in the game of hockey where that would be viewed. The less movement is a better product for him and his team. And it's what spills over to his team on the bench and in front of him on the ice is a calm guy that's never rattled, right? So if that guy who's protecting the name of the game, protect your goal.
Yes.
If he's feeling like that, then I'm going to feel very calm and confident. So this team never really feels like they're on the run, right? You could bring this offensive onslaught, and we saw it here at times in the second and third period by the Vegas Golden Knights. Carey Price, like, I got this. And the other part with their D-core, they have a committed, physical, strong, good rangy size D-core that eliminates those second chance opportunities. And I don't know if we got the clips of Shea Weber, and they've got guys who are willing to pay a price. We've got Jeff Petrie, who we already talked about, playing with that injury. Shea Weber was banged up in Game 1. We saw him take that slash there by Ryan Reeves in Game 1. And what's he doing out here in this game? He's blocking shots with that hand and that wrist. So what you're going to watch right here, here's one. That's that right hand, right wrist area. I don't know where exactly his injury was, but it was obviously he was grimacing. It was giving him problems in Game 1. He blocks it. He's grimacing there on the about mean to Carey Price, and they do a heck of a job. And you watch right there the time on ice for their defensemen. They get it done, man. They get it done, and they pay a price, and that is a big group for the most part. Overall, that's a large D-core, and that's really the identity of this team.
No, the identity is Hall and Oates. John Merrill, is it Hall or Oates that had the blonde hair?
I love his hair. So nice, right?
Phenomenal.
So good.
So great, the flow.
Game time temperature outside T-Mobile Arena Wednesday night was a balmy 115 degrees Fahrenheit, believed to be the hottest National Hockey League game on record. Before the night was over here in the desert, the sweltering heat was now the problem of the home team as the Canadiens placed pressure on the Golden Knights by evening the series at 1 game apiece. Prior to Game 2, there was plenty of conversation about possible lineup changes for the Montreal Canadiens. Instead, the most startling development before puck drop was the absence of Vegas's top-line center, Chandler Stevenson, who is now day-to-day with an upper body injury. Stevenson's place in the Vegas lineup is so crucial that head coach Peter DeBoer had to try 2 different centermen to replace him during the course of the game, Keegan Colasar and Nicholas Waugh. Toffoli's crucial goal in this Montreal victory. Toffoli now has points in 8 consecutive playoff games. He trails only Guy Lafleur and Larry Robinson all time in Canadiens history. But as Paul Byron said during the course of the post-game press conferences, at this time of year, it's often center iceman Nick Suzuki in the third period. An important shot block by Arturi Lehkonen, whose spot in the lineup has been somewhat tenuous with the possible return of Jake Evans. And consistent, solid play from 36-year-old Corey Perry, who said it's been a dream of his now to play for the team he grew up following in the province of Ontario. When Vegas plays Game 3 in Montreal on Friday, it's going to be their first trip to Canada in roughly 9 months. When they hit the ice at the Bell Center, they'll be hearing a symphony of 3,500 souls all around them, as home ice advantage in this series now belongs to the 24-time Stanley Cup champion, Montreal Canadiens.